Africa's conflicts are fueled by resources and their unequal distribution. Others are caused by bad management and utilization of resources like water and land. In seeking to reverse this, the Satoyama Initiative is being introduced. The Deputy Executive Director, United Nations University, Dr. Kazuhiko Takeuchi, elaborates.
The Satoyama Initiative is the initiative to promote the initiative to encourage the local people to live in harmony with nature. And so this idea came originally from Japan, but we're thinking that this idea could be applicable to all over the world, including those areas in Africa.
Reclamation of resources is being promoted to change landscapes as well as increasing the land output. The late Professor Wangari Maathai for long advocated the use of indigenous methods to conserve nature, showing that the initiative is not entirely new to Africa. She also called on the communities to embrace recycling to reduce and cut down on resource wastage.
We are very much appreciate that late Wangari Maathai insisted the importance of using the Japanese concept of mottainai, so the people need to fully utilize the precious resources. This is a basic idea of Wangari Maathai's concept of the mottainai. And you have also the similar type of indigenous knowledge in Kenya, and so this knowledge needs to be revisited and to be implemented so that this traditionality could revitalize in the modern economic society.
As agriculture grows, the need for these resources is growing exponentially, hence the need for conservation and preservation of soil nutrients. This could alleviate the conflicts if adopted by communities. Professor Alfred Oteng Yeboah from the University of Ghana shares how conflicts could arise.
The basis of the conflict is mainly resource use. So if somebody looks at one group and say, oh, these people are only utilizing the place that has all the fertile soils, all the waters, let's go and fight them so that we can take away from them. That kind of thing would never happen if everybody understands that we are custodians of our own environment and we can create, that is, if the situation is not there, we can create it, we can make it happen, so that we'll live in harmony with our own environment.
To realize the positive effects of the Satoyama Initiative, individuals have to come together as communities. Bring together all stakeholders who will harness their efforts, making it easier and faster to achieve the goal of sustainable landscapes for maximum productivity.
The community-based approach will be extremely important, and not just one person or one household, but the whole communities need to be sort of having the capacity to solve these problems. And not just the people living there, but also you could invite researchers, the NGOs, and other stakeholders to discuss among them and to find out a better way to solving the problem.
Pessimism has been the biggest undoing for Africa's green revolution. Is it possible for us to regreen Africa?
You see, there are too many conflicts of interest. What one community may consider as something which is good for their livelihoods, another may look at it as something they can utilize for development. And there are many cases in which if two communities, for example, can understand one another and find that the operations of one benefits the other, they can cooperate. So in 5 years down the line, I think what is important is the possibilities for communities to sit down and reflect on their own future.
There is also need for the politicians to be involved given their strategic positioning in the society. Their masses can be better informed if the policymakers approach the issue of conservation with a futuristic look.
So this is a serious issues and it's a challenges for us because politicians are always looking the very short period of time to be elected, and so they are always forgetting about the long-term vision to achieve the sustainable society. But we need to create the bridge between the academic community and the policymakers, and so that they could really understand the importance of having a long-term vision.
In Kenya, the success story is in the Masai Mara, meaning that it is not only agriculture benefiting when sustainable development in agriculture is adopted, but also the tourism sector as well. This means that if it is fully adopted by the communities, there will be a revolution and increased sources of income.
I had a chance to visit, for example, the Masai Mara areas, and the local people are trying to coexist with the nature. And I think that their way of living is to some extent destroyed, but still they are keeping their way so that they could live in harmony with nature, particularly with the animals.
So this does not just mean agricultural benefit,
No.
tourism.
Also tourism, yes. So tourism is one of the way to increase the sustainability of the people's livelihood. So not just agriculture, forestry and fisheries, tourism and education, all these things to be interrelated.
Professor Alfred Oteng Yuboa says that there are success stories not just in Kenya, but in other parts of Africa as well.
Oh, there are a number of success stories. A large amount of concentration having been put on Fadebia africana, which is a plant that has been known for a very long time, because this is a plant which does the reverse of many of the arid lands. That's the plants of many of the arid lands, in the sense that it sheds its leaves during the rainy season when all the others are now greening. Now, this plant has been found to be useful, and a success situation is found in Mali and also in Niger, where even though they have known this plant for a very long time, it's now that they are coming back to crop it more, so that they can do lots of agroforestry and mix with their own food crop production.
The success of this technique will not happen overnight, but when all communities work together, the goal can be achieved. Kenya's constitution is very elaborate on resources use and management. Chapter 5 details what is required and what is to be expected, including but not limited to the state ensuring the sustainable exploitation, utilization, management and conservation of the environment and natural resources. As such, all conservation efforts should be adopted, encouraged for quality life for all Kenyans. This report was filed by Njenga Hakina.